Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. Now this is Epic Drone Show, episode 40. That's right, episode 40. We've had 40 live shows so far for Epic Drone Show, not including a few special events that I hosted for Epic Drone Show as well. But we got a lot of things to talk about. Now, if you're familiar with what's going on right now, you know that, well, we'll start out, this is CES, Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Now, last year at CES, there were several seemingly interesting drone-related items that were there. One was from a company called Autel Robotics. And again, I'm talking about 2017 CES, where that first drone was. You may recall from a previous episode where we were talking about the modular camera capabilities, touting a 360-degree spherical camera option, all kinds of cool stuff, and a form factor that definitely looks a lot more palatable than something too big and too heavy, in my opinion, like an Inspire. So to see that at CES and to feel that it's probably about to be released, it was exciting. That drone never released. At least to my knowledge it didn't, because it looked cool. So this year, 2018 at CES, so the CES from this month of 2018, January, there's a new drone that's now being touted by Autel, and it's called the Evo. And I'm going to pull up the specs here that are available and just kind of talk through it and say, talk about the good and the bad. Now, again, I'm not getting my hopes up, because the 2017 drone that Autel Robotics was touting, the drone that they were touting during 2017 CES never materialized. So, for that reason, I don't want to become too excited about this. But the Evo on paper, it kind of looks like a Mavic Pro, that type design, that type size, which would make sense because the other drone closely mimicked a Phantom in size and design. What I do like on paper about the Evo is that it has a 4K 60 frames per second camera. So, what that tells me, and again, I'm not allowing myself to get excited about the Evo because they never delivered on their previous promise from 2017 CES. So, to me, this is just something on paper. But I am excited because when I see that hopefully will trigger a response from DJI. And hopefully that means that we will see the Mavic Pro 2 from DJI very soon. And hopefully the Mavic Pro 2 will feature a 4K 60 or better camera. So, competition is a good thing. Speaking about competition, if you don't know, GoPro has officially exited the drone game. And that doesn't come as a surprise to many because, as many of us had stated, why didn't they just discontinue Karma when the Karma version 1 was recalled? Even if Karma version 1 had not been recalled, in my opinion, it would have been best for GoPro just to scrap it, go back to the drawing board, and create something better. Because as soon as they announced that, again, even if it hadn't been recalled for a potential safety issue, DJI immediately came out and released Mavic Pro, which completely outshined the GoPro Karma. So anyway, it's 2018 is already an interesting landscape for what's next pertaining to drones. So we're probably not going to see anything from GoPro. I think GoPro's probably learned their lesson; they're out of it, and GoPro's for sale. So if anybody acquires GoPro, I would highly doubt that they would want to re-enter the drone game, and if so, it probably wouldn't be an immediate thing that they would choose to do. So, yeah, GoPro's out of the game. GoPro's out of the drone game. Autel wants to be in, but they haven't brought anything. They haven't brought us the thing they were touting at 2017 CES, and they haven't brought us this new one from 2018 CES. So, DJI needs some competition. There have been some other would-be competitors, but you probably don't even remember the names anymore. That's how insignificant they were. They didn't even put an honest dent in DJI's in DJI's popularity. I mean, DJI is kind of the, well, they're not kind of the king, they are the king. Drones, Manawatu. The Karma did not take off in New Zealand. It failed to take part of the market share. Yeah, Karma, yeah, it was, man, that was a disappointment. But, you know, one thing I'll say about the Karma, the controller, it was very nice. It was very video game-like, and I liked the integrated screen in the Karma controller. They did do something right. Jacob says, talking about GoPro, have you had the chance to try the Fusion? Well, I'm kind of going back and forth when it comes to the Fusion. And for everyone out there that may not be familiar with the GoPro Fusion, the GoPro Fusion is GoPro's new, and I say new, it was actually announced several months ago, and it was available several months ago, but it's expensive. At least at the time of hosting this live show, it's expensive. So, you know, I haven't JAB's Adventures. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard, everyone. But yeah, GoPro Fusion. So spherical camera, 360-degree camera, VR camera. You know, those terms can be used interchangeably to describe it. But you know, it's great because it comes from GoPro. So if you're like me and you've already got an abundance of GoPro mounts, there's probably a lot of those mounts. Now keep in mind the GoPro Fusion is bigger and it has a camera lens on both sides of it. But there's probably a lot of those mounts that'll probably work with the GoPro Fusion. So from that perspective, it's cool. But due to the cost of the GoPro Fusion, it's hard for me, at least immediately, to enter the game because, you know, like anything else, my fear is that by the time, you know, if GoPro does decide to lower the price, and they're known to do that, they lowered the price of several of the GoPro Hero cameras. But if GoPro does choose to lower the price of GoPro Fusion, I'm afraid by that point in time, you know, there may be a better competitor out there. From looking at some of the reviews online so far pertaining to the GoPro Fusion, something I've found that's not too exciting is that at least the stitching with it, if you're right on the side of the camera, it doesn't seem to perform as well as some others. You know, not that that's a deal breaker, but it's something to consider. And you know, again, VR is still a fresh technology, and in last year, December of 2017, is when we first received a proper VR editing software suite, and that's Final Cut Pro 10. They released an update, and now Final Cut Pro 10 can edit 360-degree spherical, VR, whatever you want to call it, video. So having the tools now, you know, they released the VR cameras before the software was readily available. Now we've got the good software. Now we need better VR cameras. And for that reason, you know, I'd like to play with the GoPro Fusion, but the price point that it's currently at for a technology that I still feel is in its infancy, it's kind of hard to you know, to want to purchase something that may not be a, you know, if it was less expensive, I could see doing it. But at that price point, that would almost be something that I would have to add to my camera arsenal, like I did with my Sony Alpha camera and the lenses. You know, something that I add that I know I'm going to continue to use year after year for at least several years. So, with that being said, there are some other VR camera options, and my Samsung Gear. And I hate to say this, you saw several of my videos from Samsung Gear. I liked it. The quality wasn't excellent, but it was a lot better than the old one I'd used. You've probably seen a lot of my older 360-degree videos on my channel that I filmed with an LG. The Samsung Gear was really cool. I had some very, very cool Samsung Gear 360 videos, but when I returned to the studio to download them, even though some of these clips, not all of them, but some of them were 7 or 8 minutes in duration, the longest clip I had from any of the videos captured was about, I think it was about a minute. And then when I tried to use that minute's worth of video that I was able to capture with it, the video was, I don't know how to describe it, just jumpy. So unfortunately, the Samsung Gear 360 camera that I had, it failed. And it wasn't the memory card, the micro SD card. I was using the recommended micro SD card for it, but something something failed. So I was disappointed there because, you know, I thought I had something I was going to use and really get a lot of VR content. So that's put me back, you know, to your point, asking about the GoPro Fusion. Am I going to use the GoPro Fusion? Probably not. I'm kind of leaning towards a Yi, and you can find a link to it on my website. But Yi's got a 360-degree spherical camera. I've never used a Yi camera before, or Wii, or however you pronounce it. It's spelled Y-I. But, you know, a lot of the tests that I've seen online are quite encouraging. Now, the stitching, if you're right on the edge, there's a lens here and there's a lens here. If you're standing on the edge, the stitching, at least with the current firmware, for the Yi doesn't seem to be that good. But I think the Yi is it's 5 point something K. And see, there's a lot of the 360 cameras out there that are just 4K, but obviously once you make spherical content, it's going to be a lot lesser quality than 4K. So the ones that are greater than 4K are the ones that once that video is, you know, once you create a spherical video, the spherical is probably going to be closer to 4K. But to get a true 4K VR experience, it's still a situation where someone would have to spend an astronomical amount of money. So I'm just waiting for something to come out that's, you know, ideally for me, I would say something that could do true, you know, real 4K and 360, but the price point would be $399 or less US. And, you know, when that comes out, that's when I want to, because I'm excited to get some more VR content, but it's just, you know, we're still in that awkward state. You know, VR was reinvigorated by the release of Final Cut Pro 10 VR editing capabilities, but it's going to take a while to see more companies react and release hardware that's more advanced than the first VR cameras we saw. But yeah, and that's, you know, that's the next thing. You know, in the next DJI on the Phantom 5 or the Mavic Pro 2, are we going to see a VR camera option? And I hope we do, because that would definitely be something radically new, especially if DJI can do it right. You know, take advantage of their Hasselblad acquisition and incorporate some really high-end Hasselblad optics within that VR camera, or give us another camera option too, a 4K 60 or better, that's based on Hasselblad technology. I think we can really get some. We can really get something revolutionary, and I'm hoping that's one of the reasons that DJI has been so quiet, is that, you know, they're really creating something that's just gonna, you know, it's gonna be shock and awe, even though they have no competition right now. You know, to release something that they've been quiet for so long that you know, now they're running the risk of causing their fan base to lose interest. And I'm not going to lose interest in drones. Don't worry about that. But I'm saying a lot of people that may have casually picked up a drone because they saw it online or their friend had one and they wanted to be cool and they picked one up. That type of demographic, they're probably going to lose interest if something new and radically better doesn't release soon. You know, that's just one type of person. You know, the person that, you know, they got to have the latest and greatest, and they're not really that interested in it. But, you know, what influences their purchase decision is the fact that, you know, others have it, or maybe others don't have it and it's something new and it's supposed to be better. So that encourages them to get it. And if there's no hype or perceived hype out there that something new in the drone world exists that everybody must buy, then a lot of those people aren't going to buy it. I mean, for me, I don't care about the hype. What I care about, and again, with the next version of Mavic Pro 2 and/or Phantom 5, I've got a lot of requirements, and one of my primary requirements, obviously, is a 4K or better camera that will greatly exceed the performance of a Phantom 3 Pro camera. I don't want tap to focus requirement. I found the tap to focus requirement in the Mavic Pro and also the Phantom 4 Pro to be a nuisance, because it's just another thing that the pilot has to add to their pre-flight checklist. You know, take off and then make sure that everything's tapped to focus. You know, that's been tapped to focus properly, and I mean, that's just a nuisance. You know, I feel that should be automated. So, you know, hopefully the next DJI, the Phantom 5 and/or Mavic Pro 2, will have a 1-inch sensor in the camera. I mean, I think, that's one thing. And again, I don't, based upon what they did last year, I don't expect this Autel to ever materialize, but on paper it has a 4K 60 camera, so that's kind of cool. Now, I don't see anything indicating whether or not they're saying it's going to be a 4K 60 1-inch sensor camera, if it's going to be just a lesser quality camera. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, 2018, I mean, it's already January the 12th. And there's just this silence. I mean, I know it's probably bugging y'all as well, but this silence pertaining to drones it's frightening. I mean, there's nothing that I'm aware of that's being pumped. There's nothing I'm aware of that's, a forward-looking statement saying this is coming, blah, 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 it's going to do this. It's something concerning, and I don't know if you're like me and you try to connect a lot of dots. But if you look at the trend, at DJI's trend, they've been, originally they were a drone company, and then they said, you know what, we're not gonna let you attach third-party cameras to our drones anymore. We're going to make our own cameras. So they cut GoPro out of the equation. You're not using your GoPro camera with it anymore. Then they said, we'll still let you, but we would prefer you not bring your own device. We want you to get one of ours with an integrated screen. So they've done that. They became a high-end tablet manufacturer for their devices. Obviously, they've created their cameras, and it's concerning. The most recent thing that I saw, and you may not have felt the same way if you saw this as well, but DJI's just announced a little, and it snaps onto like an iPhone. I think it may work with various model iPhones, maybe even Android, but it's a game controller, video game style controller thing you can plug into your smartphone, and you can also control the Mavic Pro with it instead of using the controller with the Mavic Pro. Now, does it add the enhanced range? Oh, I'm sorry, this was for DJI Spark. But does it add the enhanced range like the DJI Spark controller does? Or are you still just getting smartphone range, but you have a joystick style solution mounted to your smartphone? I mean, that I don't know yet. But what it makes me wonder is DJI trying to get involved in, and again, they just released Osmo Mobile 2 that lets you bring your own smartphone and use it in a gimbal stabilized fashion. But is DJI trying to step into other arenas beyond drones? I mean, do you fear the fact that maybe DJI is dabbling with these other technologies because do they potentially know something we don't know? Are drones about to be? I mean, I hate to say this, and I'm not, someone to create fear, but oh, there's Sean Coonery. Whoa, shook the entire desk. But do they know something we don't? Does DJI know something we don't know? And is there some sort of enhanced drone regulation looming that may make this hobby less easy to enjoy? So maybe that's why if your only business was, if you were in the business of selling bottled water and you received word that 6 months from then that all bottled water would be banned because it's unsafe, and there's no way that you can get around that, because any way that you would sell water that was in anything that could be perceived as a bottle would be illegal. So if that was your business, selling bottled water, then you would have to find a different business. I mean, instead of selling bottled water, you may sell snack mix, or you may sell beef jerky or something like that. If you want to continue to do business, you would have to have something else to make money. So in this example, of a company that only sells bottled water, and bottled water is banned everywhere, if that's all they sold, the company would be of no value. But if the company saw that coming, they felt that it may occur in the future, and then they got into these other markets, making beef jerky, making snack mix, making these other products. If they got into that, at least if bottled water was banned, they could still potentially have a profitable business because they're not, generating all their revenue from bottled water sales. So is DJI doing the same thing? Is DJI privy to some information that we're not? Do they know that something may be coming that could deeply devastate their business? And if so, might that explain why we're seeing these other things? The gimbal, they released a new gimbal, a new one-handed mirrorless camera stabilizer, a Ronin, and I'm excited about that. The pricing's not out yet, but as soon as it is, stay tuned to my website because I'm going to have links to all this there. So are they getting into this other equipment because they're afraid that something may happen with drones? Did GoPro exit the drone game because they failed from a design perspective? Or did GoPro exit the drone game because they know something about drone regulation that's coming down the pipe that we're not aware of? Could that explain why companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft seem to have no interest in entering the drone game? I mean, there's a lot of, depending upon how deeply one chooses to analyze this, there's a lot of theories that can be devised. And then AJ says, "What's going on? Finally got into your chat." AJ says, "Yes, it is 4K 60 1-inch sensor Evo. The transmitter has a built-in screen. It's very bright, so we don't have to use our smartphone." Well, that's AJ's talking about, of course, the Autel Robotics Evo that I mentioned earlier. He seems to feel that it's probably going to be a 1-inch sensor, 4K 60. So if that's the case, again, I'm not going to get my hopes up about that at all. I mean, I'm not even going to change my body language or my facial expression because based upon their failure to deliver the product that they touted at CES 2017, what leads one to believe that they'll follow through with with making the product that was touted at 2018 CES available? It's you cry wolf once, your reputation is kind of ruined. I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way. That's just how I feel. If somebody, it doesn't matter where it is, what type of environment, but if someone loses my trust, I write them off because I'm someone that's about trust. And if you promise to deliver something and you don't deliver it, you lost my trust. So that's just me. Drone says, drones Manawatu. It's food for thought, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it's that's part of the drone thing. Even beyond the technology itself, something that's so exciting about drones is being able to just theorize what's next. Based upon clues, what's next? What's next for the industry as a whole? What's coming from drone manufacturer XYZ? What's next? It's fascinating to follow. And my only fear is that, and again, I'll say it over and over, my only fear currently is that due to the silence that that we've seen from DJI, it's a situation where I hope people don't lose interest in drones. Because if the masses lose interest, there's going to be less motivation for other manufacturers to enter the drone game. Because if it's something that's not hip and in and popular or whatever you want to call it, why would another company want to jump on board and start manufacturing drones? So we got to keep. I mean, just like what we're doing on this channel with Epic Drone Show. We got to keep the momentum going. I mean, just because these are silent times doesn't mean that it's appropriate to fail to acknowledge how cool drones are and how fun the hobby is. You know, us remaining silent, even though there's nothing truly amazing to talk about right now. There's nothing in my studio. I don't have a new drone right here to pull out and play with and take out in the field and field test. And I mean, that's disappointing, because I mean, I enjoy that personally. It's a lot of fun to do that. I enjoy it. It's a cool learning experience. It's entertaining, and most importantly, it adds more content to my channel that y'all can review and tell me what you think about it, and then your feedback leads to other video ideas and other field tests, and it's just it's a non-stop process, which is so much fun. And without having a new drone right now, it's not fun. But I mean, we can still have fun and have drone shows, epic drone show. AJ says, LOL, DJI is going to come out with action camera and 360 camera, 8K 30. That's funny. You know what's funny though? DJI is overdue for an action camera release, especially right now with GoPro in its volatile state. You know, the stock price has plummeted. GoPro is, it's being bought. I mean, somebody's going to buy a GoPro. So, with that being the case, now would be a good time for somebody like DJI to come out with an action camera and completely devastate GoPro. I love GoPro. Don't get me wrong, I love GoPro. But ever since GoPro went public, they seem to base their business model upon what the street wanted. And in the past, GoPro historically they were very slow and controlled. When a new product came out, it was safe to assume that new GoPro camera was going to be something better. It was going to be well made, and it was going to be worth buying. When GoPro went public, one of their first failures was the original GoPro Session. It was a disappointment. Now the Hero 5 Session was pretty cool. I wish they had added a user replaceable battery option. That would have made it more convenient. I mean, I traveled around with a battery bank, which was fine, but if you did a lot of continuous filming, you couldn't just pop another battery in. You'd have to charge it with your battery bank, wait for it to charge, and then start filming with it again. So that was a drawback of not having user replaceable batteries. Nate's Rock says, when did the last version of Phantom 4 come out? Been too long. Very strange. Yeah, that was the Phantom 4 Pro, and let's see, that would have been man, I'd have to pull up some of my videos and my blog posts. It's been a long time, like a year or so at least. Has it been a year already, or is it? Let's check that out. That's a great question. Let's see when Phantom 4 Pro came out here. Let's see. Man, Sean Cooner, you got fur. His fur just kind of blew in my face, and I've got a piece of fur here. Let's see. Check it out. Hold on a second. Was it 2016 December? Or was it before that? Because I'm looking at my videos here and I'm posting. Yeah, I posted the Phantom 4 Pro unboxing on December the 6th of 2016. Yep, you're right. Nature Rock says November 2016. And that's the Pro version of Phantom 4. That is insane. And again, I don't call these color changes the was it Phantom 4 Pro Obsidian and then the Mavic Pro Platinum. I don't call these color changes an upgrade. I mean, they're the same drone with minor with minor enhancements. Like we know, you can get the lower noise propellers, put them on a Mavic Pro, and you basically got the Mavic Pro Platinum or whatever. I mean, yeah, they're well overdue for a new drone. I mean, that puts it into perspective. I mean, right now, at the time of hosting this live show, it is January the 12th of 2018. So in all of 2017, there was no new Phantom. No new Phantom. No Phantoms at all in 2017. That's a long time. So AJ says if can't sell water, way to go, probably make more money. Drones, Manawatu. Something caught Sean Coonerty's attention. He's staring over there in the bushes. Is there a wild animal over there? He's looking. He said there's something. Yeah, Nate Sarag, the Phantom 5, I mean, it's got to be spectacular. The Mavic Pro 2's got to be spectacular, because if it's not, you know, people are going to lose interest. I mean, you know, you wait from, you know, all the way from November of 2016 up into 2018. You know, how much longer is one going to wait? And what if they do botch? Maybe that's why they waited. What if they botch the design of the next Phantom 5 and the next Mavic Pro 2? What if they release something that disappointed everyone? That could totally derail the DJI train. I mean, if they release a turd of a product, I mean, that could really kill them. I mean, because, you know, people are already, I'm not going to overgeneralize here and say that people are losing interest in drones, because that's not the case. I see new people playing with drones every day. You know, they're picking them up, and the drones we have now are great. The Phantom 4, Mavic Pro 2, both great drones. Phantom 4 is my favorite, but I mean, it's just, I mean, and here we are again, all of us tuned in live chatting about this epic drone show, and we don't have a new drone. I mean, we got an enormous Maine Coon cat, Sean Coonery. He said, hello. He said, I will fly a drone. He said, but you got to release it first. He said, because there are no drones that are new. So, yeah, I mean, it's it's just crazy. It really is crazy. I mean, it's disappointing, it's upsetting, but there's one thing for certain. When this Phantom 5, when this Mavic Pro 2, when they release, it better be exciting. But it'll be exciting even if it's a horrible product, because it'll still be fun to get out and test it and see what it can do or what it can't do. So, I don't know. What if DJI just got really lazy and they became arrogant? They're like, you know, we've released so many awesome products. You know, we're the #1 drone brand. What if they intentionally came out with something that was just horrible, just to see if it would sell? You know, kind of to test the market's reaction. I mean, that could potentially destroy their business if they did that. But what if they did that? I mean, they could do whatever they wanted to do, whatever they want to do. So, you know, that's always a possibility. I don't think they would do that, but yep, Sean Coonery is still sitting here. He looks perplexed. He said there is nothing new. Nada. Zilch. Nothing. Yep. It is pretty crazy. So, yeah, I mean, we're 35 minutes in, and you know, did anybody here actually have the luxury of going to CES 2018 and walking around to see what all was out on the floor? Well, not related to drones, but I finally got the lighting and the bandwidth in the studio fixed, because I was having a lot of network congestion issues, and it seems like at least at least temporarily, that's cleared up. Hopefully that continues to be the trend. That's one of the things in 2018, want to have a ton more live shows, and I've got this new live broadcasting set up. So what I want to do, and again, everybody that's watching this show, shoot me a message if you're interested on Facebook.com/IrixGuy. Shoot me a message and say that you would be interested in being a live guest during an upcoming live show, because I've got this new live streaming set up to where, and I haven't tested it yet, but in theory what I would do, if you were that person that was chosen to be part of an upcoming live show, I would send you a link, and if you have a webcam built into your desktop computer, laptop computer, whatever, in theory you should be able to launch this software, and then that would utilize your webcam, and you'd be able to be part of this show face on video. So we could do it in a couple different ways. I could do it to where, or actually more than a couple different ways. I could do it to where it would alternate among people speaking, or we could just do like a split screen so we're both on all the time. But it's something I'd like to play with. So if you're interested in chatting about drones and you're not camera shy, and you would obviously you would want to appear as a guest on the channel, shoot me a message on my Facebook page, and I'll keep you up to date. And maybe it's something that we can, hopefully something we can do, and it'd have to be scheduled so that you're available and I'm available. But I think it would kind of be cool to have multiple people on a live show. I mean, it's cool, reading comments and then responding face on camera to everyone, but it'd be cool to have other people face on video, I think. So yeah, we got I just wanted to update everyone. I mean, I know the industry has been so quiet, the drone industry, and I didn't want anybody to think that I've lost interest in drones, because I definitely haven't. It's just there's nothing new yet to obsess over. So with that being said, I'm going to cut this live show a little bit short. Stay tuned for another Epic Drone Show live very soon. Again, go to epicdroneshow.com. You can find all the drones there. Just go to store and go to drones. You can find all the drones, drone accessories. Go to epicdroneshow.com to also find this episode and all other previously recorded versions or previously recorded episodes of Epic Drone Show. And again, I appreciate your live viewership. This has been a tremendous live audience. Got a ton of people out there. A ton of people that were silent, which is perfectly acceptable. You don't have to talk. You can just tune in, and that's awesome. It says, Drones Manawatu says, as a discussion point, has DJI put all possible technology into their drone unit itself, not camera tech, and have nothing left to improve their GPS stabilized technology? You know what? That is a great talking point, and I think what we need to do, we need to have another Epic Drone Show live here in maybe even this weekend, and talk about that, and then hopefully some other updates pertaining to drones. Hopefully something will come out before this weekend, because right now it's a big ocean, and there's nothing really that can be seen anywhere. I mean, it's just empty ocean. So anyway, thanks for watching, and again, if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so. youtube.com/IrixGuy. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.